What if I told you that 3 simple glute exercises, moves that look almost too easy to work, could quietly transform your lower body strength, your balance, and even the way your knees and back feel every single day? Not in a gym, not with heavy weights, but using movements your body was designed to do. Most people think strong legs come from squats, lunges, or long workouts. But here's the surprising truth. If your glutes aren't doing their job, your legs are working overtime. Your joints take the stress, and real strength never fully develops. And that's why so many people train hard, yet still feel weak, unstable, or achy. Today we're uncovering whether just 3 targeted glute exercises can genuinely rebuild lower body strength, and why science says the answer might shock you. Now let's clear something up right away. The glutes are not just butt muscles. They are the engine of your lower body. The gluteus maximus is the strongest muscle in the human body, designed to drive power when you stand up, walk, climb stairs, or lift objects. The gluteus medius and minimus act like stabilizers, keeping your hips level, your knees aligned, and your spine protected. When these muscles fire properly, movement feels smooth and effortless. When they don't, your body compensates, usually with the knees, lower back, or calves, and that's where pain and weakness begin. Modern life quietly shuts these muscles down. Long hours of sitting tell your nervous system, you don't need these muscles right now. Over time, the brain forgets how to activate them efficiently. Researchers actually call this gluteal amnesia, and no, that's not just a catchy phrase. It's a documented neuromuscular phenomenon. Studies in biomechanics and physical therapy show that inactive glutes lead to reduced force output in the legs, even if the muscles themselves aren't weak. In other words, it's not always about muscle size. It's about muscle activation. This is where the idea of simple glute exercises becomes powerful. Strength isn't just built by loading muscles with weight. It's built by teaching the nervous system to recruit the right muscles at the right time. When that happens, even basic movements can create dramatic improvements in strength, balance, and control. Let's talk about why 3 exercises can be enough if they're chosen correctly. The goal isn't to exhaust the muscles. The goal is to wake them up, reinforce proper movement patterns, and build coordination between the hips, legs, and core. Research shows that low-load, high-quality activation exercises can significantly increase muscle firing efficiency. Once the glutes are firing correctly, everyday movements suddenly become strength training without you even realizing it. Think about standing up from a chair. If your glutes are active, they drive the motion smoothly. If they're not, your knees push forward, your lower back strains, and the movement feels heavy. Fix the glutes, and the entire movement changes. The first type of exercise that matters here is a movement that teaches the glutes to activate without help from momentum or other muscles. One of the most effective is a controlled glute bridge. Lying on your back with knees bent, feet flat, and arms relaxed. You press through your heels and lift your hips slowly. But here's the key. This isn't about lifting high. It is about squeezing the glutes deliberately and holding the top position long enough for the brain to recognize, this is the muscle I'm supposed to use. Electromyography studies, tests that measure muscle activation, show that slow, controlled glute bridges can produce high levels of glute engagement while keeping stress off the knees and spine. That makes this movement ideal not only for building strength, but also for rebuilding trust between the brain and the body. Over time, this single movement can improve hip extension strength, which directly translates to better walking speed, stronger stair climbing, and improved posture. People often report that their lower back feels more supported after just a couple of weeks, not because the back got stronger, but because the glutes started doing their job again. But strength without stability is incomplete. That ESS, where the second type of exercise comes in, one that challenges the glutes to stabilize the pelvis during movement. This is critical because real life rarely happens in perfect, symmetrical positions. Walking, stepping, and balancing all happen one leg at a time. A simple seated or standing hip abduction movement, where the knees gently press outward against resistance or gravity, targets the gluteus medius. This muscle is essential for knee alignment and balance. Weakness here is strongly linked to knee pain and hip instability, especially as we age. Studies in sports medicine consistently show that improving glute medius activation reduces knee valgus, the inward collapse of the knee that contributes to injury and weakness. When this muscle gets stronger, balance improves. People notice they feel steadier when standing on one leg, stepping off curbs, or changing direction while walking. And that stability is a form of strength most people never train directly, but desperately need. Now, the third exercise ties everything together by integrating glute strength into functional movement. This is where many people go wrong. They isolate muscles but never teach them to work together. A slow, controlled sit-to-stand movement from a chair, done with intention, can become one of the most powerful strength builders for the lower body. By focusing on pushing through the heels, keeping the knees aligned, and engaging the glutes before standing, this simple movement trains the body to use strength in a coordinated way. Research on functional training shows that improving sit-to-stand mechanics significantly increases overall lower body power and independence, especially in adults over 40 and 50. And here's the fascinating part. When these three movements are combined, something unexpected happens. The nervous system becomes more efficient. Muscles fire sooner, with less effort, and with better timing. Strength improves not because you're working harder, but because your body is working smarter. People often assume strength must feel exhausting, but true foundational strength often feels smooth, controlled, and almost easy, until one day you realize stairs no longer leave you winded. Your legs feel more reliable, and your balance feels automatic rather than forced. This raises an important question. If these exercises are so simple, why don't more people see results? The answer lies in how they're performed, how consistently they're practiced, and how the body adapts over time. Consistency matters more than complexity. Doing a glute bridge once and expecting miraculous strength gains is like planting a seed and hoping it grows into a tree overnight. The body needs repeated, deliberate practice to rewire movement patterns. Research in motor learning shows that neural pathways strengthen with repetition, just like muscles do. That means short, focused sessions, say 10-15 minutes a day, can be more effective than occasional long, exhausting workouts. Form is equally critical. A common mistake is letting other muscles take over. During a glute bridge, some people arch their lower back or push with their hamstrings instead of squeezing the glutes. During hip abductions, the outer thighs may dominate, leaving the stabilizing glute muscles underactivated. The body is clever. It will always use the path of least resistance. That's why mindful, slow, controlled movement makes such a difference. Every rep is a message to your brain. Activate the glutes, stabilize the hips, protect the joints. Now let's look at how these three exercises work together in daily life. The glute bridge strengthens hip extension, powering movements like walking uphill or standing from a chair. The hip abduction improves lateral stability, which protects knees and ankles when you step to the side or carry weight. And the controlled sit-to-stand teaches your body to integrate strength and stability simultaneously, making functional tasks easier and safer. Combine them, and you are not just training your glutes, you are training your whole lower body to work as one unit. Science backs this up. Multiple studies in physical therapy and gerontology have found that focused glute activation programs significantly improve lower body strength, balance, and even gait speed in adults over 50. One study measured participants before and after a 6-week glute activation program. The results? Improved hip extension strength by over 20%, better knee alignment during movement, and a noticeable reduction in lower back discomfort. That's not just theory, real-life improvements that affect mobility, independence, and confidence. Here is another insight that surprises most people. You don't need heavy weights or machines to get these benefits. The body responds to tension, control, and correct activation, not just load. That means exercises you can do at home, with no equipment, can create meaningful strength improvements. In fact, beginners often benefit most from these low-load, high-activation exercises because they're learning to fire the correct muscles first. Only once those muscles are firing efficiently does adding resistance or more complex movements become truly effective. And this is where the 3 simple exercises concept shines. You don't need a full leg day routine to see progress. You need movements that wake up dormant muscles, teach stability, and integrate that strength into real-life tasks. That is why even people who have struggled with leg or hip weakness for years can see noticeable results in just a few weeks. But there's more than strength at stake. Activating your glutes properly reduces stress on your knees, lower back, and hips. Weak glutes force compensations. Your knees cave in, your back overarches, your balance falters. Over time, these compensations create chronic pain and increase injury risk. By focusing on these 3 exercises, you're not just building strength, you're building resilience, helping your body move efficiently, safely, and confidently. And for those wondering about time commitment, it's surprisingly manageable. Just 5 to 10 minutes per exercise, performed 2 to 3 times a week, can produce measurable improvements. That is less than half the time most people spend scrolling their phones, and with far more lasting results. Finally, let's touch on progression. Your body adapts quickly. Once you master controlled glute bridges, lateral abductions, and sit-to-stands, you can add small challenges. Pause longer at the top, add a resistance band, or perform the sit-to-stand slower and more controlled. Each adjustment teaches your nervous system more efficient activation, pushing strength gains without the need for heavy weights or complex routines. Over time, these small, consistent improvements compound. People often underestimate the power of foundational strength. It doesn't always show up as bigger muscles or dramatic aesthetics, but it shows up in how you move through your day. Suddenly, climbing stairs feels easier. Standing from a low chair requires less effort, and your balance during simple movements feels effortless. That's the real proof that 3 simple glute exercises can reshape your lower body strength. There's also a psychological benefit. As your body begins to respond, confidence grows. You start trusting your legs again, which encourages more movement, more activity, and even better overall fitness. Studies in geriatric exercise science confirm this positive feedback loop. Stronger glutes improve function. Function encourages movement, and movement strengthens muscles further. Essentially, you're rebooting your body's efficiency from the hips down. Some might think, but I've been active for years. Do I really need such basic exercises? The truth is, even athletes can have dormant glutes. It's less about age or experience, and more about how the nervous system coordinates muscle firing. Activating the glutes correctly improves power output, prevents compensatory injuries, and supports longevity in every kind of physical activity, from walking and hiking to lifting and running. And here's the kicker. These exercises are accessible, low impact, and adaptable. No gym membership required. No expensive equipment. Just a few minutes of focused effort, repeated consistently, can yield results that last a lifetime. The science, the stories, and the real-world results all point to the same conclusion. Your glutes hold the key to unlocking lower body strength that feels effortless, sustainable, and pain-free. So, if you're looking for a practical way to build strength, protect your joints, and move better in everyday life, it's time to stop overcomplicating things. 3 simple, well-performed glute exercises. Glute bridges, hip abductions, and controlled sit-to-stands done consistently can create powerful changes. Not overnight, but steadily, safely, and effectively. Your body will thank you with every step, every lift, and every movement you thought was getting harder with age. And remember, it's not about pushing harder. It's about moving smarter, teaching your muscles to fire correctly, and integrating strength into real-life movement. That's the secret most people overlook. So next time you feel your knees creak, your balance falter, or your back strain, know that it's not just weakness, it's opportunity. Opportunity to rebuild, restore, and reclaim strength, one simple exercise at a time. But let's take it one step further, because knowing the exercises is one thing, and making them a permanent part of your life is another. Part of what makes these glute exercises so powerful is that they don't just build strength in isolation. They teach your body to move smarter every day. Think about it. Walking, climbing stairs, bending to pick something up, even getting out of a car. All of these actions rely on your glutes firing correctly. The more you practice, the more your body remembers how to engage them automatically, without thinking. Another amazing benefit: injury prevention. Weak or dormant glutes are behind countless knee, hip, and lower back problems. By activating these muscles consistently, you're not just getting stronger, you're literally creating a protective shield for your joints. Sports medicine studies show that improving glute activation significantly reduces the risk of falls, knee injuries, and lower back strain, especially in adults over 40. That means a few minutes a day of targeted movement can save you weeks or even months of pain down the road. And here's where most people underestimate the fun factor. These exercises are simple, but when done correctly, they challenge your coordination, your focus, and your body awareness. That sense of control, the feeling that your legs, hips, and core are finally working together, is surprisingly addictive. People start noticing improvements in posture, stride length, and even confidence while standing or walking. Suddenly, something as simple as a short daily routine becomes empowering. Not just physically, but mentally too. Finally, let's talk about progression and personalization. Your body is unique, and these 3 exercises are just the foundation. You can make them more challenging by adding pauses, resistance bands, or slightly altering angles, or you can simplify them if you're just starting out. The beauty is that this system grows with you. It adapts to your level, your goals, and your lifestyle. And over weeks and months, those small improvements accumulate, transforming not just strength, but the way your body moves every day. At the end of the day, it's about reclaiming control, independence, and confidence in your own body. 3 simple glute exercises are more than movements. They're tools that reconnect your brain, your muscles, and your daily life. They remind you that real strength isn't about the gym, the weights, or the hours you put in. It's about intelligent, consistent, and purposeful motion that makes your body stronger from the inside out. So, can 3 simple glute exercises really boost your lower body strength? The answer is a resounding yes. But only if you approach them with focus, consistency, and intention. These exercises aren't about flashy movements or heavy weights. They're about teaching your body to work the way it was designed to, building strength, stability, and confidence from the ground up. Think of your glutes as the engine of your lower body. When they fire correctly, everything else falls into place. Your knees are protected, your back feels supported, your balance improves, and everyday movements become easier and safer. Over time, what may feel like a small effort becomes a foundation for lasting strength and mobility, helping you move through life with more ease and less pain. So take action today. Start small, move deliberately, and honor each repetition. Your future self, your stronger, steadier, more confident self, will thank you. Strength isn't built in a day, but it is built every time you choose to activate your muscles, reclaim your movement, and put your body back in control. 3 exercises, 1 simple routine, a lifetime of difference.